What's that? Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Scores! He did it again!
I just killed him. Before the game, I just killed John Madden because of a stink bomb.
Split special teamers, and now Brown is off to the races. Hurdles, kicks him in.
Giants are coming off a worse week than Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, that was the most exciting thing to happen tonight.
Game's over. Game is finally fucking be over.
Ed, you got to turn your mic on. I think. His hand on the button.
And now, our feature program.
Hey guys, how you doing tonight?
Hey everyone.
What's up?
It's nice to see everybody again.
What's up, Tats family? How y'all doing?
Oh, not too bad. Still feeling better finally over here. Got rid of my cough for 99% of the way.
Nice and comfy down here.
It's nice and cold up here, you know. It's snow, ice, rain,
I heard
mix.
it was a summer day today. I heard it was like 30.
It was like 34 today. It wasn't too bad.
Heat wave.
See, summer day.
It's about, what, 60 over here. 65.
I think it was almost 70 today up here.
Oh, geez.
Maybe it was that warm.
You southerners.
I went out in my flip-flops, but that ain't different for you guys. You guys go out in your flip-flops no matter how cold it is up there, you know.
Even if there's snow on the ground.
Yeah,
right.
Snow on the ground. We're out there grilling, you know.
See, I'm in the panhandle of Florida. You guys are in the panhandle of hell. That's all you can say.
It's always the worst, though, when you're, like, walking up there in your flip-flops and there's, like, loose snow. It also gets under your feet. Like, if you put your foot in the flip-flop, it's like, ah, crap.
Yeah,
No,
and then you're like, why is my foot wet?
It's worse when you're cleaning off your car after a huge snowstorm, and I don't tie my boots, and I also don't usually wear socks, so it just falls in my boots and then gets stuck there next to my foot and melts. That's cold as shit.
See, Smitty, you should move up here so you can come and enjoy it.
Wait, isn't shit usually hot when it comes out?
Not in the winter.
No, I've had my share of winters and hard winters, so I'm very familiar with cold, and decided that I don't like it. And so, hey, Nathan has joined us.
Hey,
what's going on, Vern?
How you doing?
What's up, everybody?
I have internet.
Chris is back.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, did you get someone finally out there to fix your stuff or what?
They said they fixed it, but I mean, it still glitches here and there. But it did that when it was good internet still. So we're gonna go with it for tonight.
At least it's working.
Everybody, keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, why does Nate look different in my screen? He's like a small corner piece. Is that right?
I don't know.
Does it look good to you guys?
He looks good
Someone
to
on
me.
YouTube?
It looks good on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay.
Him
Are
and
we
his
on YouTube?
very yes.
We are. We're live, by the way.
Him and his
Heads up, we started
yeah.
live. We figured we'd give Chris and Smitty some time to talk about college. That
Yeah.
way give you more buffer zone.
We
Yeah, that
know
makes
you have to
sense.
put the children to bed.
Hey, I'm not. I don't hate it.
And we haven't talked about college at all yet, so
No.
you didn't miss anything.
Are we doing another episode next week?
We have one more episode next week, and then we're gonna take our hiatus until we do our draft night special, and then we're back on hiatus until the beginning of football season. We figured you needed a break.
Yeah.
Kind of
Coming
get
down.
burnt out.
It's just like, yeah.
Nate, is the belt engraved yet?
No.
All right, send it down with Travis. I'll get the engraving done myself.
When's
Okay.
Travis going?
I will swing
Next
over.
Saturday.
I will swing over either this weekend or the middle of next week.
Are you all to travel?
Yes. We're good to go, so. And I'm finally not dying anymore, so.
Well, we will be by then.
Yeah.
Nate told me that he would get it engraved the moment I get the tattoo.
So I'm going to get taller by the time that happens.
It's a win-win for Nate because even though he didn't win it, his name's still going to be on it back to
Yeah.
It might say Nate Bottom, but
I mean,
Nate likes
somebody's
being the
got
bottom.
someone has to be the bottom for sure.
It always has to be the bottom. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Oh, boom, boom.
I see what you did there.
I try to keep it interesting here on Talking Stuff, or Thick and Thin.
The talking stuff.
Whoops.
Wasn't that last
We can-
Monday?
Wrong one.
That was my Freudian slip.
We can make it talking stuff.
Well, that's what I said. Is when we're down,
For the plug.
when we go down to South Carolina, Smitty should come up. And we'll do a talking stuff on location at Minnie's house.
Well,
Yeah.
so I'm going to, what's the word I want to use? Entice people to listen to the next episode of Talking Stuff podcast. Yeah, and then I sent a message to them saying, "Hey, motherfuckers, answer your phone."
No, it was like I need you.
Oh yeah,
Like
because I needed to talk. Well, I really needed to talk to Smitty about it. And I was like, well, Chris is a very close second to.
I'm the only other person on the show, so yeah.
Well, no, 'cause I could have picked Travis or Jeremy. Like I was
Oh,
going
sure.
down my order of who I wanted to tell me, but again, I needed somebody to tell me if something was worth sharing or not to the group.
And the way his text came out, I was taking a dump at the time, and I'm like, what the hell? I was like, give me a second. So when he says this, I call him up immediately. I thought something was
Wrong.
Yeah.
Because he
Nothing was
never
wrong.
texted. Call me. He is like, don't call me. Text me.
So on Monday, Chris is going to be the tie-breaking official on whether or not this deserves to be shared. Now, part of me wanted to see if the Watsons wanted to weigh in, because there's still 5 of us. So no matter what, this thing is going to be deemed funny to share, or funny, or not funny, or not funny. Don't share.
Ah.
Or funny enough to share, but might get you banned.
It will get you banned.
Well,
The
now I'm
first 2
intrigued.
seconds out it's gonna get you banned, but you know. I don't even know how he got it legally on his phone. I don't know. I just don't seem right.
I am
So that's
highly
a little,
intrigued.
that's a little foreplay for you all.
It's German, though, right? It was dubbed in German. Is that right? Does it sound German to you?
I mean, they looked like
Did you get yourself a mail order bride?
So I think it was of like a Czech film or something of that nature, and it was definitely dubbed in English.
I cannot believe it's up for like the Czechoslovakian Academy Award. That just blew my mind.
Right?
It's crazy.
Come on, you're giving up too much details.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Stop.
You guys apparently don't understand the concept of a tease.
No, I'm the guy that
You tease it and then you move on. You don't keep.
I'm that guy
exploring more
that
and more.
you know when you get those trailers for movies and then they cut it up for like a minute and a half and they show you everything in the trailer. I'm that guy.
Show you all the good stuff, and then you watch it, and you're like, this movie sucks.
So the guy that will talk in a movie theater.
That's because Smitty is the ultimate Theater 3000. What was it called?
Oh, Mystery Theater
Yes.
3000. Yeah.
You were around when that was brand new, the first time.
That was the funniest thing ever. Maybe not ever, but it was hilarious.
Somebody on here was trying to do a podcast very similar to that, and it kind of fizzled out.
Yeah, it didn't work out so well.
I tried it with Chris too.
Yeah.
And I've tried to try it with Smitty.
You try a couple of different times. It's not the same. If you can't look at how awful the movie is.
Yeah, if you can't play it also while you're talking about it, it just kind of loses a little something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to try to get around the fact that you can't listen to the movie.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's the harsh part. At least if you could listen to it, it'd be
Yeah.
it'd be halfway decent.
Like
but...
if only you could listen to it, which really it's not that hard.
But
I mean,
the problem
well,
is
it's not
that
hard if you're
isn't
in
that
the same location.
the problem isn't that you can't listen to it. The problem is that everybody else that's listening also wants to know what the hell you're talking about, and if they haven't seen the movie, it makes it real hard.
Yeah, it
They
makes it
put the
easier.
movie on while we're talking over it. What?
You're expecting a lot out of people here.
Yeah, we ended up watching half of the movie. That was our problem. Ugh. All right, guys. Since we haven't talked about college in a while, and Chris is back,
Look at me.
Smitty's looking down at his phone.
I'm sorry, I'm a busy man.
Well, I know you're a busy
You gotta
man.
get them lady friends.
Which one of you two want to get going on this National Signing Day? Chris wants to do it?
Apparently, I want to do it. So, the top 5 college recruiting teams for the 2022 season. At number 1 is Texas A&M. Number 2 is Alabama. 3 is Georgia, and 4 is Ohio State, and 5 is Texas. All right. So, are you guys familiar with the way that they kind of rank the players, the star system?
Sort of.
Yes.
So you have 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, and 2 stars, right? I mean, your 5 stars are going to be your, a lot of your running backs, your quarterbacks, those.
Your Jason Smiths.
Yeah. The Smitties, So Texas and A&M had 7 5 stars, 19 4 stars, 3 3 stars, and 0 2 stars. So
That's
just,
a lot.
the only team that had any 2 stars was Texas. They had 1. Alabama had 3 5 stars, 19 4 stars, 3 3 stars. Georgia had 5 5 stars, 15 4 stars, 9 3 stars. And then Ohio State has 2 5 stars, 17 4 stars, and 2 3 stars. So, A&M, let's see what they can do with it. I'd like to think that they're going to be a contender next year, but how many of these guys are actually going to play? And I'd have to look really deep dive into A&M's recruiting, to see who these 5 stars are and some of these 4 stars, to see at what positions they are and stuff like that.
And it's definitely so much information. It deserves a sportscast all its own.
Yeah, if you wanted to go into the recruiting for college, it would take me all day. But
all right, I'll see you tomorrow.
That is your top 5 for national,
And correct me if I'm wrong, they also rank these teams not just the prospects of the stars, but the players that come to that team from other already established teams, like LSU to Georgia to Florida State. So involves that stuff too.
If they've already, decided to transfer or whatnot.
Right.
So there's still people that are in transfer portal, all these different things that could change that, and they don't necessarily fall into the recruiting class. They just come in, because we have that safety. Ohio State has a safety coming from Oklahoma State, which is a really big thing for a big pickup for Ohio State, but it doesn't necessarily make our recruiting class any better. And then getting into the draft, where do I got it? All right, so Smitty pretty much has the top 5 there. Evan Neal, tackle out of Alabama. Aiden Hutchinson, edge out of Michigan. Kayvon Thibodeau, edge out of Oregon. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this dude's name. Tackle out of NC State. And then, Charles Cross, offensive tackle, Mississippi. And this is on the ESPN mock draft. Some of the interesting ones that I've seen is I don't think Malik Willis, the quarterback out of Liberty, the ESPN right now has him projected going 6 to the Panthers. I don't think he's going to go that high.
Who?
Malik Willis.
They got him going 6?
ESPN has him going 6. Let me see when this article was written, though.
Why would
It was written last week, so.
But
yeah,
okay, I could see him going high, but not that high.
Yeah, there's a lot of people saying that the Steelers want him.
They must want him bad to go.
Yeah.
I mean, what I don't get is the fact they don't have oh God, what's his name? Tell me what his name is. My favorite player. I'm just saying my favorite player. This guy from NC State. The guard. He has one of those names.
He has one of those names.
Yes. That man is massive.
They have him going 4 to the Jets. That's the dude that I said I couldn't say his name.
Is he from Hawaii?
Yeah.
Is he one of those guys that's from Hawaii?
He's like 340 pounds, and he's just, Miami needs to grab that man with the quickness. I'm just saying. I don't know why he's not number 1. I get the fact that it probably should be that edge guy from, let me see. Where's he at? Hang on. Thibodeau. He probably should be. Yeah, he probably should be the number 1. Yeah. But anyways,
yeah.
sorry.
Other notable kind of things that made me kind of go, they're predicting Kenny Pickett, the quarterback out of Pitt. He was a Heisman finalist. He actually, I believe, finished third in the Heisman voting. Going to Washington, to the Washington Commanders.
On their first pick?
Yeah, that's their at number 11.
There's no way a quarterback comes off of there by number 11. I don't believe that at all. Yeah, not with the picks that are coming out. There's no. Yeah. I don't see it. I think the first offensive player, skill player coming off is going to be a wide receiver, like the dude from Alabama. You always got to be Alabama wide receiver. What's his name? Williams?
Yeah, Jameson Williams.
Yeah, that guy. I think he might be the first offensive skill player off the. But what do I know?
I know, the Saints are looking for a quarterback. They're at 18. They're predicting Matt Corral going from Ole Miss. I don't know. I think a lot of these quarterbacks are kind of interchangeable. They're very similar playing styles. So
is this going to be one of those years that basically quarterbacks and wide receivers don't go at the top? It's all rushers and
it's going to be linemen probably the first at least
linemen, edges,
8 picks. Yeah.
Yeah, and guards. You need Miami needs a guard. Who's the receiver for Ohio State?
Garrett Wilson. They're projecting him going to the Jets.
No, the other one. No,
Chris Olave.
Yes, that man. He watch that man. Whoever gets that dude is going to have one hell of a receiver.
Let's see. They have him going to the Titans at 26.
Whoo! What? Whoa, 26.
Yeah, drop it all the way back down there.
They have Drake London going to the Raiders at 22. So this one for the Steelers quarterback, they have Sam Howell, the quarterback out of North Carolina, going to the Steelers, which I could.
Where's Chris? Did we lose him?
He's mastered the art of the long pause.
Oh, he's back.
He's back.
Say pause.
Yeah, he had the long pause like nobody's business. I think he's long paused again.
No,
we need the Jeopardy music.
If that guy from Ohio State drops all the way to 26 and I'm Miami, I'm trading back, getting me because he's coming off the board in the top 15. I don't see why he wouldn't. He is just
so. Your boy that you just mentioned, the wide receiver out of Alabama with Jameson Williams.
Yes,
they have him going 30 to the Chiefs.
30.
And they have you guys taking Logan Hall, edge out of Houston.
That's a good pick.
Let me guess, the Patriots are taking a lineman.
Linebacker.
Let me find corner Andrew Booth Jr. out of Clemson.
Who do they say Miami's going to pick? If they don't say a lineman, offensive lineman, it's a bullshit. What is that?
I just told you it was I think a defensive end.
Yeah, you got somebody at Houston.
I bet.
Yeah.
That was Green Bay. I thought.
No, Green Bay. I'm looking. Give me a second.
No.
Green Bay's not going to take anybody good. It's not what they do.
Do you guys have a first round pick?
We may have traded it in part of that Love deal.
All I know for sure.
Oh no, they have you taking George Karlaftis, edge defensive end.
That's a good pick.
Out of Purdue, he's probably one of the best edge rushers in the Big Ten.
He's
not a bad pick.
He's probably top 5 in the draft right now too. But Miami, they already decided to go with my guy, not my guy, but Tua, and they need a running game. To get a running game, what do you need? An offensive line. You need guards. They're gonna if they don't pull a guard, then they're just
they're projected to take an edge.
Well, they're projected stupidity. That's what I'm saying.
Well, they could always grab a free agent or try to trade for a freaking.
True. Anyways, I like
good linemen are hard to find. That's the issue.
No,
if you have it, you're not trading them.
Yeah,
even
true.
If you have a surplus of them, you're not trading them.
But if you can't afford to keep a lineman, I don't know. What's Tampa Bay looking at like with their salary cap?
But they're way under now.
Are they?
Yep.
But I mean, you got some of these teams that can't afford to keep some linemen, so they got to move them.
Well, no, the linemen are the easy ones to keep.
Yeah.
Smitty, they have you guys taking an offensive tackle out of Central Michigan in the second round, though.
Oh. No.
I'm just saying. And then they have a linebacker for the Pats in the second round out
of course they do.
Wyoming.
No.
The Patriots taking a linebacker in the first 3 rounds? Oh, no.
That always happens.
And they have Nate in the second round. They have George Pickens, wide receiver Georgia for the Packers.
That's not
Why?
fair. They don't pick receivers.
It'll be a great target for Jordan Love.
It will be. And that receiver going to Titans will be a great receiver, a great target for Aaron Rodgers.
That is all I have for college.
Is that he had said, "We'll see" to a Denver fan, saying that he needs to go there. So that's the newest in the carousel of Aaron Rodgers and where his future is.
Denver.
I can't wait for next season. Like, I don't fucking care where he goes. Just get me the next season so I can see him play on a team.
I thought you were a Packers fan, not a Rodgers
I
fan.
am. I just want to move forward to the next part of
He
things.
is now going to fall into the idea of the Watson family of this is my team, but if they don't do well, I can go for this team because Aaron Rodgers is on it.
Well, this is
only
what
difference
happened with Brett
His
Favre.
quarterback only won one Super Bowl.
Yes.
My quarterback did, Brett Favre.
And then your heir apparent only won one as well.
Yes.
Yeah,
He
well, I
only
don't think
gets
Tom Brady
one
won those
at-
Super Bowls. I'm pretty sure defensive won it a few times. Just saying.
Yes, but the quarterback can lose the Super Bowl.
Yes.
We've seen that happen.
I stand
23
corrected,
23
Jeremy.
to
I stand
3.
corrected. You are right, sir. You are right.
All
We're not
right.
giving enough love to the kickers.
We never do.
All right. So, which one of you two have a thingamajig tonight? Do you have a Smitty thingamajig?
Okay, I guess it's gonna be on me because I did not take my own advice when I told you, Nate, about doing the Super Bowl thing, which I should have.
So,
and then
before you
Jeremy,
brought it up, I'm
yeah,
like, is it Super Bowl related? He goes,
and it
"It's
was
Super Bowl
not.
related." I'm like, it's Super Bowl week.
But
Come on.
this is the fun thing, okay? Because there's been a lot of crap in the news in the last month or so.
Yeah.
About toxic freaking players and coaches. Actually, this whole year.
God.
So, okay, if you are the general manager and your job for some reason is to pick a team to make it fall apart, so you got to pick the most toxic player or coach
of all time.
Of all time.
Okay.
And Brown is not an option.
But that's the surefire answer.
Yeah.
That's why he's not an option. Who do you pick and why?
Do they
Okay,
have to
so-
still
And maybe
be
not
alive?
toxic, but just terrible, like it just in general,
Can you repeat this question? Because
Okay,
you
okay,
lost.
I got the answer. The Browns quarterback, not Mayfield, the one they had before it.
Colt McCoy?
Was he the one that was
No.
all into drinking and heavily and whatnot? He got
Johnny
what's-
Manziel.
Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
Yes, him.
Did you get the question, Nate? Hey,
So
Nate
I'm
Hank?
picking the most toxic person in the locker room.
You want,
Yes.
Yeah, you want to pick someone that can destroy a team, pretty much.
Coach or player?
Coach or player?
But well, Chris has the better option here. He's used to having a coach that destroys his whole team.
Yeah.
But you can't just give me an answer. You got to give me an answer why. And I guess Jeremy was because he drinks a lot and partied a lot.
Because he was more worried about having his teammates go out drinking and party with him than actually
His
performing
image.
on the field.
Okay, well then I'm toxic, okay? Because that's
Oh.
what I was as a leader in the military. Let's drink. I don't care
but
about
that's a
that.
requirement for the military.
Yes, you're not in prime physical specimen condition.
Smitty's a prime physical specimen. Just look at him.
My eyes work.
He can push paper like it's nobody's business. All right.
So, we
Nate,
got Jeremy's answer.
Nate, you love toxic people.
I have a few, and I don't know who to pick.
You have to choose one.
Remember,
I
it's
know,
not
but
Antonio
so-
Brown.
You can talk about more than one, but I mean you only get to pick one of them, so you can
See,
better
the
back.
reason- okay, so they all pretty much did the same thing. Okay, so hear me out. Jason,
Maybe you should go last because you're gonna give other people ideas.
will go last.
All right, Chris.
You
Then.
can't sway my idea. I already had mine.
All right, Chris. You got one?
What was the question? I got sidetracked with all the back
All right.
and forth.
Who do you think
The
on
most
an
toxic-
NFL team, staff or player, is the most toxic?
And all time. You got to pick one of these players, and Brown is not an option.
Like, am I saying like a player or like a position?
No, a player.
Coach.
A player or coach.
Coach, staff.
Like
Right.
you say Nagy or like
Oh, okay.
you know,
Yeah, who's there to
Asking a
destroy your
generalized
team?
question or specific?
specifically.
Can we
He's
also
personal.
add general managers?
Yes,
Yes.
general managers too.
They're like the
Can
king of
can
destroying
can
players.
Can I have the owner?
Yeah.
Owners too.
Pretty much from the head coach up on the Bears needed to fucking go. So, you know, they did the majority of that. It's
you have-
still to be desired, but
You have to choose one
You have,
person.
to, you have to pick a name.
I
A
think
name.
And it could be anyone in history. It could be Jim McMahon from the '85 Bears.
no. So I would say Ryan Pace because that dude he brought in horrible coaches and horrible draft picks.
See, I
So
expected that answer from you.
Yeah, I think as much as Nagy was responsible for a lot of the on the field crap, he was trying to work with the crap that Pace gave him.
I expected that answer from you because you stayed within the wheelhouse of the Bears. You st-
Okay,
Uh,
Travis. Travis or Smitty? We need.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Terrell Owens because he didn't matter where he was. He didn't stay very nice for very long, and he just managed to turn a team on itself half the time.
Hey, he brought a team to the Super Bowl on a broken foot. Get your popcorn ready.
he did do that. He did do that. Does Gail have an answer?
Not yet.
Gail's looking at players that she can think of that
Toxic
were-
players? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with because I've had I'm the one who thought of the question.
Yeah. In your 100
I'm
years
go-
old, so you've seen them all.
True. And I think the most toxic player that I would have drafted out of all, because Brown is off, because I think everybody would have picked Brown immediately. Probably Ryan Leaf, the quarterback out there in San Diego. I guess that's where he played for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of his inability to not talk to people. He was better than everyone. He was not good with the coaching staff. He was not good with the publicity. He everything was he was always the victim, and yeah, he was just a very not good person, and he sucked as a quarterback. He probably sucked as a quarterback because nobody would play for him. But
So now you're victim shaming over here.
yes, and I will victim shame till I'm dead. I mean,
Gail?
oh God, I wish this was a Talking Stuff podcast because I'd say something right now.
All right, Gail, you got one yet? How about-
Can I throw as a honorable
Sure.
mention Jerry Jones in?
Nope. Hey, he won his guys 3 Super Bowls.
No. What's his name won 3 Super Bowls in spite of Jerry Jones. Jimmy Johnson won 2, and then whoever took it over was gifted a 3rd because that team was stacked.
Barry Switzer.
Yes. But Jimmy Johnson won those in spite of Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he did get a lot of draft picks though. He loaded up with that Herschel Walker trade. I guess Nate can go. I mean, they can.
All right, Nate.
In spite, then why do it? Okay, so I was able to bring my 4 people down to 2
Okay.
because I don't know if this team is going to implode because of one of these 2 people because it has yet to happen. But I'm going to go with John Elway and Peyton Manning. What they did to the Denver Broncos, bringing in Peyton Manning just to get him a fucking Super Bowl, and then the next several years, they're freaking sucking ass. They've gone through several different quarterbacks since then, and they can't seem to get anywhere because they invested the farm in Peyton Manning so he can go get a goddamn Super Bowl with another fucking team just because of this petty rivalry that everybody's talking about with Tom Brady. But I'm going John Elway.
Okay, I'm gonna make a comment about that. I don't think that's toxicity at all, and many teams do the exact same thing, and they cannot win no matter what. The Browns, the Dolphins, the Falcons, the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean,
Browns again.
I mean, the Detroit Lions. There's toxicity all over the place. I mean, a lot of teams cannot get the right quarterback years and years and years and years. The Jets. So I don't know if that's probably the worst pick I've heard so far, Nate. But I do respect your opinion.
So
I'm just saying,
I have
if
a comment.
anybody could have screwed a team over more, John Elway.
The
That is
issue
toxic
was
as fuck.
Yeah.
But the issue wasn't him bringing Manning in. The issue was they've been middling for so long with mediocre quarterback play that they're not high enough in the draft to pick a franchise quarterback.
Mhm.
And when they are, they don't choose the right one.
No, they take the most flashy guy, and
wasn't John Elway part of this whole general manager and draft picking?
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
and he's
again,
no longer in
added
charge of draft
pick.
picks because of that.
Yes, but I specified that Peyton Manning wasn't part of the issue. The issue is Elway's
That's
horrible.
John
at-
Elway.
Elway's horrible, but it's just Elway's horrible at drafting quarterbacks.
Manning was just selfish and should have retired.
Yeah, but being horrible at doing your job and being toxic are two different things.
Are you gonna say?
Selfish is toxic.
Are you gonna
Just
say
ask
Rodgers
my
is
mom.
No,
toxic
I
to retire?
I said being crappy at your job and being toxic are two different things.
True.
Yes. and
I
Elway was
sucked at my
crappy at
last
his
job, but I wasn't toxic.
Oh, I think you were. All the complaints you told me about your last job. My God, you must have. And the way you talked about when people come in, hey, Sergeant Hanks. I ain't Sergeant Hanks. I'm Nate. Get the hell out of my house. Not my house, my office. Screw you. I'm going home.
I don't want your fucking cookies. Leave me the hell alone.
Ooh, cookies.
Oh, okay, okay, Gail. Do you got anybody yet?
I do.
Who do
Yeah, who you got?
Cam Newton.
Ooh.
I don't know. If
Toxic?
he's toxic. I think he was
Honestly-
he just sucked.
It's
Isn't he
not
just
even that he
dumb?
just sucked. He's a sore loser. He's selfish. He's petty. He is just a cancer. Any team he's on, he's all about himself, and he's not a team player. And if it doesn't go his way,
Is everyone else's fault?
yeah. So
Okay, like Ryan Leaf, a Ryan Leaf
I
type
was gonna say,
person.
at first, I thought you were talking about Miguel until like the last three things.
Okay, who said Terrell Owens? Because I think that person.
I
wins.
did. I said T.O.
I think T.O. out of all those was probably the best pick.
The only other one
I forgot all about him.
I think that would be a good candidate would be Ocho Cinco.
I was looking at him too.
Yeah, it's always wide receivers, isn't it?
Yeah, for the most part, it is. It's very few because they get really big heads because they get all these touchdowns and they get the glory of getting those 60-yard, 70-yard touchdowns and then outrunning people and.
They're prima donnas.
Yeah.
I mean, I was gonna say Brian
go that hard.
Flores.
And that's the weird thing because the greatest receiver, Rice, he was never a prima donna. He did not like getting dirty.
No.
He did not like getting dirty, but he was not a prima donna. He
would have loved playing in today's NFL because most of the fields are just turf.
Oh my God, he'd have been. Yeah.
Well, and one of the other greatest receivers to play the game, Larry Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Not a prima donna at all.
Not even. Nope. Yep.
Even
There's a fine line that the receivers play. It seems like.
Hopkins, he's not a prima
Right.
donna.
Oh, what was his name from Carolina? Smith.
Steve Smith.
He was an ass, but he wasn't a prima donna. He was not toxic. He was.
He was just an ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was great though. Yeah. So okay, I'm sorry, Nate. You're not toxic. You're just an ass. There's a difference.
We clarified.
All right.
So, did any of you hear about this? Who Antonio Brown just partnered up with?
No. What happened now?
Kanye fucking West.
Oh, that sounds like a great relationship.
Shock.
Maybe president, vice president in the next election cycle.
I was like,
So
doesn't that
shocked.
sound like the worst partnership in business ever?
Depends on what. It depends on what they're trying to buy or sell.
I can't believe Kanye actually
Are they
thought this was a
trying
good
to sell
idea.
drugs?
They're
It's
gonna
a-
go grab Cam Newton and just call it a fucking.
Newton
party.
wasn't that bad. I mean, he was bad. I
Newton
agree with
has all
that,
the
but he
style
wasn't.
sense.
He wasn't Brown bad.
Nobody's
the
Brown
style.
bad.
He wasn't Menzel bad. He wasn't Owens bad.
Exactly.
Well,
So-
Brown sets a whole new level for bad.
So Antonio Brown was made the CEO of one of Kanye West's companies.
What's this company do? I need more information now.
Donda Sports Initiative.
What the hell's that?
Uh,
I think Nate should have read more.
Yeah.
This. Keep going. I'll
Yeah, you'll fill us in when you
research what Donda whatever is. Oh, here we go. Donda Sports former NFL Pro Bowler and Super Bowl champion Antonio Brown joins Donda Sports, where he will join E and Justin LaBoy to bring an athlete's perspective to all aspects of the organization. Donda Sports was founded with the vision of providing holistic support to athletes during and beyond their sports career. When the game is done, Donda Sports is not done with you. Ye.
Okay, that makes sense. I don't think you have to read no more about it.
Yeah.
It's basically, you know, what
Gail has
the
a new answer.
company does for like the military. When we get done with the military, they still continue helping and taking care of you and so forth.
Well, then again, Gail has a new answer, but I don't think he was toxic.
I have a new answer, and it really doesn't need any explanation. Aaron Hernandez.
Who is he?
He was toxic. He was just crazy.
Yeah, I was gonna say he wasn't exactly toxic. He just liked killing people off the field too.
Crazy. He just lived two lives.
Well, can you imagine after you found out, say you're a football player and you're playing defense against him, right? And you get into a scuffle because he got in a couple fights. He's yelling at you on the field, "I'm gonna kill you, you motherfucker! I'm gonna kill you!" And then you find this happen. I'm like, oh damn!
Like the next day, he gets arrested and put in jail for murder. You're like, oh damn.
You're like, I thought he was just like mad.
So I just realized, how did nobody say John Gruden?
Because I don't.
Yeah, if anything, he helped that by them firing him.
Leaking that information.
Right.
But that's still toxic.
No, it's not. I don't think you know what toxic is, man.
Yeah, I think Nate, you need to look up the dictionary.
He wasn't
word.
unbearable to his team. He wasn't unbearable to the people he worked with. He wasn't like unapproachable. He wasn't.
He just
like,
had emails that weren't PC.
He just said some bad shit. Just because he said those things didn't mean he acted on the. I mean,
talk to anyone he ever interviewed or whatnot when he was doing. Because if you think about it, he did his Gruden corner or whatnot.
Yeah,
and whatnot, and all of them always loved talking to him.
Yeah, so he's not toxic. I mean, geez, I mean, Nate, I'm pretty sure I'd be fired if I had a job they ever heard half the crap I say.
Yeah.
So.
If they ever opened up one of these podcasts, maybe we'd be cut off from all this.
Hell, 90% of us would. All right. You want to get into Kamara?
Yes.
Kamara? Alvin Kamara. Well, he's going to be Kamara tomorrow.
Well, he's about to join the Mean Machine.
Yes.
Mean Machine.
So apparently, video surveillance showed New Orleans Saints running back Alvin Kamara punching a man approximately 8 times before Kamara's associates proceeded to stomp on him several more times on the ground in a Las Vegas casino Saturday morning. So, you know, he's just going to bed. And then Kamara was later taken into custody inside the Las Vegas Allegiant Stadium on Sunday evening after he played the Pro Bowl, not during. He was
before.
Yeah, or before. He was interviewed by police and then arrested and charged with battery resulting in substantial bodily harm and booked at the Clark County Detention Center. Kamara was released after posting bail later Sunday night.
So, a little more to the story before we ask the question.
Yeah.
He openly admitted to police that he punched the guy multiple times. He said that, I thought that he was starting a fight with one of my friends and then started running, so I chased him down and hit him. Where video evidence doesn't show him chasing anyone down. Video evidence shows that him talking to this guy, elevator door opens, and next thing you know, one of Kamara's friends yanks the guy back, punches him, and then Kamara just goes and starts wailing.
Have you seen the pictures of this guy's face?
Oh yeah, he's in for
he's messed up now.
They're saying he might lose function out of that eye too.
Oh jeez.
Because
Hey,
they broke that socket and whatnot that holds everything.
I'm going to tell you right now, all NFL players, rich, famous ones like this, I'll be happy losing function in my left eye if I'm about to get $20 million from you. Okay.
Oh, no,
So
They should also get money out of the NFL, to be honest, because Roger Goodell straight up admitted that the police told them before the Pro Bowl that he was.
Oh yeah, they knew prior to the Pro Bowl being played.
Yeah.
They knew it all. So
They
go
knew
ahead.
it all, and they let him play.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes. And
Wow.
Goodell knew about this, and the fact that Goodell asked the police to wait till after the game to.
Oh.
Goodell needs to be fired. But go
Yeah,
ahead.
he needs to go.
He is the toxic one. And he's destroying.
Yeah,
all of the teams.
yeah.
All right, so Nate left. So what punishment do you think the NFL should impose on him?
Yeah, I didn't elaborate whether he's guilty or not guilty. I saw what happened, so I just wanted to know.
Yeah.
Obviously, if he goes to jail, that's different. But
Yeah, I have a feeling with the amount of damage done, he's going to end up in jail or under house arrest or something like that. But these recently, more and more frequently, these high-profile athletes have been getting hit with big sentences to try and slow down everyone else's outlook.
well, I mean, outside of the actual legal part, like say legally, he just say he's free. Say he doesn't go to jail.
So the NFL should at least give him a year suspension.
You think it should be suspended forever?
I think he should, but at minimum at least a year.
What about you, Chris?
And fine heavily.
This was one of your players,
Yeah.
Chris. What would you want to see happen?
Pausing for dramatic effect.
No, I was thinking because I was processing what Jeremy said, and I would say, at minimum, I want to say a whole season, but realistically, he's not going to get that. So I would say a whole season at least, and I don't even know how to start with the fines because.
Right.
I'd say it'd be at least. The NFL won't fine him much. They'll probably fine him like $5,000 to the NFL.
Well, right now his maximum minimum will be 6 games if nothing else. But if he hit a woman like that, would he be in the NFL still?
He'd be playing next week.
He'd be Ray Rice.
Yes. Ray Rice hit his wife or his girlfriend the one time, and I saw the video. She hit her head, and I think that's what knocked her out. But the point is, and he was done.
Yeah.
But Kamara beat the crap out of this dude.
Mm-hmm.
And he don't get. And now don't get me wrong, the NFL let Ray come back, but nobody would take him back.
No, he eventually played for the.
No, he did not.
Didn't he play for the?
He was.
So, and we may have said this, and I misheard it.
Or he tried out for a team.
I have a question because I may have misheard this. So, did Kamara instigate the fight, or was he defending himself?
Okay,
No,
so I
he
have
wanted to
the
defend
article
himself.
pulled up.
So
Okay.
the story that was told was that they were waiting for an elevator to get out of this club, whether it go down or up, whatever. They were waiting for the elevator. The elevator doors opened, and apparently one of Kamara's friends grabbed the guy, yanked him back, and you can't see if he hit him or not. But Kamara turned around. And he said, "Oh, I thought he had just punched my friend who was running off, so I chased him down." So Kamara turned around and just started cold clocking.
Okay. So either way, he may have not initially instigated it, but it wasn't like the person that got the crap kicked out of him, like legitimately started a fight.
No, according to reports, no.
Okay.
So the article.
Jerry, wait a sec. Gail's got the article right now.
So the article that I have pulled up says Kamara, I guess, admitted that the person came up and called one of his friends ugly.
Ugly.
Really?
And then the man turned around and looked at Kamara and said, "I'll whoop your ass too." So
walk
one
away
of
still.
Kamara's
He didn't throw a punch.
friends
So.
grabbed him and hit him. Kamara then lied to the police and said that the guy was running away. But on the video, it's clear that Kamara then jumped in and just started attacking this man.
Right. So here's the thing. Okay, if the man was running away, then you let the man run away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
So-
other thing is the man never threw a punch at anyone.
No, he did not. It was all he got. He just he was. I guarantee he was drunk, saying shit, and he got his mouth popped. Great, should have happened. Fine, and it should stop right there. One punch, let it go.
Yeah.
Boom. But no, this was unnecessary. So
It was excessive.
The issue is Kamara hit him, I think, at least 8 times, and
Mhm.
his friends came in and started stomping on the guy.
right. So the friends, I don't know. They don't say a damn thing about the friends being charged, but you know what? Okay,
Well, it's because the friends aren't high profile; they're just Joe Schmoes.
that's true. But I think he's going to jail, and I think his career's over.
Yeah.
You know they didn't have this problem when the Pro Bowl was in Hawaii.
Well, you can only get in so much trouble, and the only thing you do is go lay on a beach for 8 hours a day.
Exactly. All
That is
right.
quite enjoyable.
So let's get to Kyle Murray next. One of
Small thing.
Yeah, Smitty's quarterback this past year. In what is often a telltale sign of trouble, Arizona Cardinals star Kyle Murray has unfollowed the Arizona Cardinals on Instagram and deleted all of his Cardinals-related content on the platform. Other athletes have done this in the past, and sometimes it means something, and sometimes it doesn't. What do you think Murray unfollowing his team is about? Is he leaving?
He just
Well-
wants a break.
Yeah.
Well, I know that he is in still rookie contract, and he got another year, and then they got a 5th-year option. I think he might be trying to tell them, I don't want to be here. You need to restructure my contract now, instead of. I think that's what that's about. He's willing to go, but he needs a new contract. Just that's what I think.
So he's willing to stay with the team, or he wants out of
Yes.
that team?
I think it's a power play. I mean, obviously he can't leave the team this next year because he's in a contract, and they have a 5th-year option. He's there for 2 more years, but
No matter what.
they're going to restructure his contract now because he's like, I will leave. That's what I think he's telling them.
Yeah, so his base salary has been under $1 million per year.
And he figures if I'm going to keep putting up these kind of numbers, I want
His
paid.
4-year rookie contract was worth $35 million. 24 of that was a signing bonus. So he averages about just under $9 million per year in theory, for his 4 years with a 5th-year option by the team.
Yeah, and he deserves. I mean, okay, no quarterback deserves $1 million. I don't care, but according to NFL standards, that man needs to be paid like he's a top 5 quarterback,
Well, he wants to be paid like a top 5 quarterback.
and he should be. And a team will pay him like a top 5 quarterback.
Oh, yeah. We all know the Houston Texans are looking for a good QB, and so is the New Orleans.
So
Yeah.
he didn't just unfollow them. Apparently, he took all mention, like he scrubbed his entire Instagram account.
Yeah, it says there deleted all his Cardinal-related content off the platform. That's
Yeah.
part of
He
the.
took everything
Yep.
except
But,
a photo gallery of the Pro Bowl.
But other players have done this too. Other players in NFL and NBA, sometimes they were trying to leave. Like I think what's his name in Houston did this, and he was trying to leave. There's a player in the NBA, a couple of them that did it on their team, but they weren't leaving.
A lot of them in the NBA do that to get them to get paid.
And that's what I think he's doing.
It's basically a threat, and they basically say, "Hey, I have no problem clearing out my stuff and go play for another team if you don't want to pay me."
Mm-hmm. Any other?
If that's his plan, I'd let him go.
Yeah, I would almost just rat him for as long as the contract is and call it a day.
I love you, Nate, because you and I think the same way. He's like, I don't care who you are. You gonna play that game against me? Fuck you. You can walk out that damn door.
I'll send you to a. I'll use that 5th-year option.
You
to-
trade him to Detroit.
Yeah, I said, yeah, I'll use your 5th-year option and send you to Detroit or the New York Jets.
No, they just have a quarterback now. They don't need another new one.
They could use a better one.
Yes, but they don't think that.
No.
That's fine. He can sit on the bench.
Oh, that's what I do. I
The
mean,
Carolina
he doesn't have
Panthers, they could send him to so many crappy. If he knew what was good for him, he would keep his mouth shut. Because there's so many crappy teams that'll take a fifth-year option.
Ooh,
QB.
straight up trade Aaron Rodgers for Kyle Murray, just like me and Nate did in the
Deal.
yeah.
Absolute fucking deal. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I'll do that in a second.
All right. So, Smitty, we talked about this while you last week.
Did
when
you?
were
I don't
here.
remember you talking about the playoffs at all.
I thought we did. Well, we talked
Did
about it
not.
a little bit.
Oh,
We talked a little bit.
before we get to that, one question real quick. All the hirings have taken place early. We all know the NFL coaches. Do you think Houston hired who they had hired because he was a minority because of what's going on with Flores?
I think
Have
they
you
were
noticed-
hired anybody but Flores because of what's going on.
No,
with
no,
Flores.
no. They
Lovie Smith was not in the running till after the lawsuit was filed.
So do you think they did
And
like?
you realize Miami also hired a minority after the lawsuit. Every coach hired before the lawsuit was a white coach. After the
But-
lawsuit was minorities.
Yeah, but they were already talking about hiring the guy from San Francisco prior to that. He wasn't top of the list, but he was in the running to be hired. He already got interviewed by them.
Yeah.
So, but do you think Texas did that because like, okay, we don't want to be the bad guys here, so we're gonna hire a minority?
I think they just
Because
said we were going to hire somebody that's not Flores, and then they went down the list of saying, okay, who will our guys go with?
They were the reports where they were keen on McCown, Josh McCown, old white quarterback from years ago.
Josh McCown, the quarterback?
Yes,
Yeah.
That's who they were going to go with. Never coached in the league and whatnot, and they were so. That was the reports that that's who they were favored.
Okay, I'm glad they didn't get him because I don't think he'd be. I mean, Levy Smith isn't the best, but I think he'd be better than McCown.
Honestly, if I was Houston, I would have went to Sean Watson and said, "Listen, we want you to play here. What would it take to?
Oh, no,
keep you?
he's
what
out.
Coach, do you want? No,
They-
he's not.
Oh, yeah. No, they've already come out and saying that they're looking to trade him as soon as possible.
Well, they've been looking to trade him for a while because he won't play for them.
Right,
if
but
if
they're
he was willing to play for them, they would change their tune in a heartbeat. Because, like Smitty said, there's a million teams that'll trade for a good quarterback.
This is true.
They're looking to trade him as soon as possible. All the reports out of the NFL like insiders are that Deshaun Watson is out as soon as possible.
I mean, if he would
Well,
stop
it-
assaulting
That's
people.
depending on them getting a trade.
No,
that they like.
Deshaun Watson isn't about assaulting. It's about being touchy-feely with the massage therapist.
Yes.
He wanted a happy ending at every
Still
massage.
assault.
And deserved one, damn it.
He was just a lonely man looking for a good massage.
He should have called Robert Kraft and went to Florida. It would've been awesome.
I know the place Kraft went to. It's right down the road.
He should have known to just drive
So
take the quick little plane ride up to Vegas where it's legal.
So no, the safest place to go is Bangkok. I mean, everybody knows that.
Yeah, I've never been to Bangkok, but I heard it's nice.
Nate knows all about it.
So Smitty, when you walk into that establishment, do you ask for the Kraft experience?
You know, I've never actually had a massage done, a professional massage. Never had one. I need to get one done. Like, not legit, not
A legit
this
one,
thing.
not just a massage, not
Yeah.
a happy ending massage.
Not one of these.
It's amazing.
Yale gets them for Christmas every year.
I do. I have to set one up.
All right, since you weren't here last week, you want to talk about the playoffs, and you can take it.
Well, I mean, because I listened to you guys last week, and I do not remember you going through the playoffs.
Well, it's because Nate just didn't feel like going through all the games that we missed and whatnot.
Okay, well, I will. Okay, I will do it then. The Super Bowl and how we got here. The division rounds of the playoffs. Bengals beat the Titans 19-16. King George was assassinated. 49ers beat the Packers 13-10. Tears for my LP. We all cried for him on that day. Rams,
I think I was cheering for him.
Yeah.
Rams beat the Bucks 30-27. Flashbacks of the Super Bowl? Anybody? Because they were beating their asses.
Yeah.
Tell you what, when it went 27-27, how many of you figured it was over? And
Yes, I figured Tampa
it's
was
going to
gonna win.
overtime. Here
Yep.
we go.
I cannot believe that. I was like, oh my God, Super Bowl. Chiefs beat the Bills 42-36 overtime, and defense don't matter in the NFL because there was no defense played. In the conference championship games, we had the Bengals beat the Chiefs 27-24. Bengals kicker got a gold leg because that son of a gun is, dude. That's
he's
dude.
11 for 11
He
or
needs
something
a
like that in the
raise.
postseason.
Florida State guy, man, he is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Rookie.
Yes.
That man needs to get paid.
Yep. And the Rams beat the 49ers 20-17. 49ers wanted to relive the 80s because they tried to beat the Rams, almost did, and they would be playing the Bengals, which would have been the 80s 2 different 80s Super Bowls.
Yeah.
So.
For that one. That was
Oh, it'd been nice.
So literally.
So,
right
do you think
after-
this was the best playoff that you've ever seen?
I
It's
think
best
it was
playoffs I've
the
ever seen.
most upsetting playoffs.
After Wild Card Weekend, it was the most competitive playoff games I've seen in a long time.
Well, even
Wild
Wild
Card
Card
Weekend
Weekend, there
was
was
what
so
we
many upsets. It was insane.
Oh no, Wild Card Weekend were just blowouts though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
but
a
but
good
but it
weekend.
was like the teams that shouldn't have won blew out the teams that should have won. Wasn't that Wild Card Weekend or?
There
No,
were a
you're
couple
thinking of
of
divisional rounds.
upset games.
No, Wild Card Weekend, the Bengals won. The
Was it all? No, the home teams didn't win. Not all the home teams won.
all except for one home team won that weekend. The
Yes,
Niners-
I'm thinking. Yeah, okay, yeah, because
You're
I'm
thinking
thinking divisional
divisional
round.
It was the divisional.
Yeah,
round.
you're thinking
That
the
was literally
Titans being knocked out and the Bucks being knocked out and the Packers being knocked out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
that's what
divisional
you're
round
thinking.
is probably
Yeah,
the
so-
best weekend of football that I have watched all season.
I mean, the thing
Well,
with
yeah.
these games,
It's
like,
my favorite
you-
weekend so
like,
far.
The thing was, like, with the Tampa games, like, oh, this game's over. All of a sudden, you turn away for 5 minutes. It's a game again.
Yeah.
See,
Oh, I was
never-
like, okay. I seriously was thinking it's because I even said in the text message, it's scripted. I told you what was going to happen, and it almost happened.
Yeah. It's like they saw your text and said, "We can't let that happen."
Yeah.
You're not gonna know.
Son
Don't
of a
let
bitch,
Smitty
he's
be
right.
right.
I even said it to Brody. I was like, God damn it, Smitty freaking called it.
I almost did, and I was so happy I was wrong. So happy. I was, like I said, I can't remember what I said for one of the games. Like, I was just so happy that I was wrong. I think that was the game.
Yeah.
But-
Can we just admit who called the Super Bowl? Now, who called
Super
who was going to be in the Super Bowl?
When did you call the Super Bowl?
It was like the beginning or before Wild Card Weekend.
Really? Congratulations. I would listen to that again, and I don't believe you.
I don't remember
Okay.
that.
Once they were heading into Wild Card Weekend, I said it was going to.
You
be
did say Bengals. You
and
did say
Rams.
Bengals. I remember that. Yes, you did.
I said it
You
was going to
did.
be the Bengals and the Rams.
Yeah.
That's
I said it.
There's video evidence. One of the guys from ESPN said the Bengals would be could make Super Bowl this year. Burrow.
I said the Rams are going to be the Super Bowl this year at the beginning of the year. So
Yeah, because we saw who
Yeah.
they had signed, and we're like, "Yep."
Yep.
You're like, "They're
I
going."
just remember last year you guys laughing at me when I drafted Burrows and in fantasy, and now look.
And we laughed at you after he blew his knee.
Blue
too.
is it? Well, I mean, when you have an offensive line like that, I mean, come on. now.
yeah. Well, we thought you were stupid, so we don't know. We're sorry. I apologize. But the Super Bowl is the Rams, who's the away team, versus the Cincinnati Bengals, the home team, at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles.
Yes.
And
Okay.
so here's a little side note: the Bengals decided to wear their dark colored jersey, but the light colored jersey has won 14 of the last 16 Super Bowls.
But
So
that's swayed because the Patriots always wore their light colored jerseys for some reason.
right, and well, so did Tampa Bay last year. But even the other teams that have played, 14 of the last 16 seasons, the light colored jersey has won.
It's
why
an
the fuck would they
optical
screw that?
thing for quarterbacks. It's about the white color compared to a darker, smaller area. At least that's what I read something about because I saw that.
Something
There's
like
something
that.
about something
But
about
the
colors
Bengals
and
have
the
one more
green.
games this year wearing their dark colors than they have with their light colors, even when they've been against teams that have worn the light colors at their house, kind of thing. So that's, I think, was their deciding factor, saying, "Hey, we have won
Do you
more
know-
games with our dark colors. We should wear our darks."
This is why I think the white team, the light color team, does better because it's easier to see a hold on a white jersey than it is on a dark jersey.
Yes.
I'd like to go back and look at penalties called against the team wearing the dark colored jersey compared to the team wearing the light jersey.
Yeah, but I just thought of that right then. I just
All
want to say
right.
that. Okay.
So you want to go through your little Rams write up, or?
Well, I was just gonna what I did was I did the Rams, a couple questions for the Rams, and a couple questions for the Bengals, and then questions for the whole Super Bowl. So you go ahead and read that, Mr. Producer guy.
All right, so the Rams finished their season the 9th ranked defense, 2nd ranked offense. They also finished the regular season with the 16th ranked. What?
The Bengals finished.
Oh, the Bengals finished the regular season with the 16th ranked defense and the 20th ranked offense. The Rams mortgaged the house to make the Super Bowl run, and they succeeded. With an elite talent like Stafford, Von Miller, OJB, Ramsey, and Darnold, among others, they have built a super team.
A super team that, in all likelihood, will not be together next year.
Yeah, you definitely.
Yeah,
said that right
I went over. We
OBJ.
talked about this last week a lot, where basically, if they lose, would it all have been a waste, basically?
Well, so I've been thinking about this, and a few times it's been brought up on Sirius XM this week. And I'm not sure if it was yesterday or today. One of the hosts of one of the shows, or co-hosts, said, if the Rams don't win, it was a waste of 20-something draft picks.
Wow.
Around what hour was this, so I can get an idea of who might have said it?
Well, no, because they've switched the morning shows this week.
Oh, because they're out there at the Super Bowl?
The normal morning show is out in L.A. The mid-morning show is now the morning, and the morning show is now after it. It's weird. I'm not sure. But they were saying that if the Rams don't win it, in theory, they've traded away their quarterback with a bunch of draft picks to get Stafford. They've made other trades. I mean, they have 3 picks in the next 3 years of the draft pretty much left. Because they've traded them all away. Where to pretty much get to the same point they were 2 years ago if they don't win it.
Right.
If you look at it that way, I mean, think about it. 2 years ago, they lost the Super Bowl or 2 or 3 years ago, whatever it was. They lost Super Bowl to Brady and the Patriots.
Yes.
With Jared Goff and whatever team they had. Since then, they've traded for Stafford, they traded for Ramsey, they traded for OBJ, or they picked up OBJ, they traded for Von Miller, and the list goes on and on and on. Mm-hmm. So in theory, if they've done all that and still come up short, all this was a waste of 20-something draft picks. Because after this year, Von Miller's a free agent, OBJ's a free agent.
Yep.
And there's a lot of other players on the team that are also free agents. So it's like, if they, in theory, spent all this draft capital to try and win the Super Bowl, if they don't win it,
they're back down in the dumps.
They are, well, no, they're not in the dumps. They actually have a quarterback now, but they are going to have to rebuild their team, and they're very tight on salary cap space.
Okay, so so NFC Championship is not enough. They should be winning the Super Bowl.
No,
okay.
Exactly. But if you look at it the other way, because they were doing a comparison of how to build your Super Bowl team. Where in theory the Rams went out and bought a bunch of players and traded for whatever, a bunch of players.
Well, that's a question I have later on in the thing, but okay.
I'm sorry.
Stop talking.
The funny part is, I looked at these questions earlier. I'm like, these look like the exact question I asked last week.
Maybe I heard them somewhere.
Yeah, last week.
Thank you.
Oh, look how good your mommy is for you. Are you being taken care of?
I am.
Did she even cut the crust off of it for you?
No, but she cut it in half.
The diagonal way.
Yeah.
Makes it taste better.
So
ask the kids that.
I know. Connor always wants it cut like that.
So the Bengals are being led by.
No, you missed the next one.
Oh, hold on.
What do you think the main reason for their success? All the trades, signings, or the emergence of Cooper Kupp?
Oh.
Because Cooper Kupp came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He definitely did. But there's a lot of weapons on that team because of
I think almost
their trades.
Cooper Kupp didn't come out of nowhere. Cooper Kupp was a good receiver. The issue was
I think
they had so many other weapons and a capable quarterback to get him the ball that it showed what Cooper Kupp could actually do. And you couldn't really double Cooper Kupp because they had so many other weapons.
I think it was exactly that. You had to double OBJ or you had to double not Von Miller.
Wow.
I'm thinking they had to double these number one receivers. That Cooper Kupp, who was like a number one, but he like always required the number one like defender before. But now that they had
number 2. It was my Star Trek number 1, number 2.
Well, he always had these number 1 corners or number 2 corners on them with safety overhead, where now they couldn't put number 1 or a number 2 corner on them. They had to put a free safety on them. They had to put something else on them. So he became a much more open weapon for him that they were able to just get him the ball, because you had to put a number 1 corner on somebody else, and you had to put both of your best corners on other receivers. That it allowed Cooper Kupp to be more open more often. I think that's what happened. It wasn't that he.
I had to mute you. I can't handle you chomping away on that freaking microphone right now.
No, Smitty, you're muted. You need to unmute. You would have to unmute yourself on Skype.
He's good. Go ahead.
Just keep eating. Just keep eating.
Yeah.
Just enjoy your delicious looking panini-like thing.
So I think that's what happened, is that because they had all these other weapons, that it allowed him to get open more often, and almost.
Oh my God! Stop it!
It allowed him to be open more often, so it made him into a phenomenal receiver because he was able to get the ball more often. I think that's
I was
what
just trying to
happened.
prove a point that I wasn't shooting in the microphone because Gail would have said something. Nate, you're just being a baby.
Nate's always a baby when he hasn't had all his medicine.
No, I cannot stand the sound of somebody chewing.
He
If it's
hates
not a
that more than
puppy
anything.
or a hippo, or an otter.
So, Smitty, you have to understand, I have the headphones, one on and one off, so that I can hear the baby monitor. And the headphone that I have on is actually on the ear that I only hear like halfway. So there is a good chance he is hearing something that I am not.
She uses that ear to listen to me too, Smitty.
I do.
So.
I also use that ear to listen to my children.
All right, so let's get to the Bengals. The Bengals are led by the BD Joe Burrow.
That is
No,
not what that
that's
says.
not what it says.
That's not what that says.
I had to make it a little bit nicer. The Big D.
Nope. Come
the
on.
Bengals are being
Come on,
led
Ron
by
Burgundy.
Big Dick Joe Burrow.
Big Dick Joe, damn it.
He has made his
That's
trademark.
Chris's man right there.
I also noticed. I'm pretty sure that was this part right up here at the Super Bowl. Did you talk about Big Dick Joe and Matthew Bertha Stafford?
No, he's completely skipped over that.
Oh yeah, I see that.
I asked Smitty about that. He said he whatever. Too far now. You should
All right,
should have
go
paid
ahead.
attention before.
We need to restart the Bengals thing.
Nope, he has made his mark in the NFL by being the first player in history to win the national championship, the Heisman Trophy, and picked number 1 overall and taking his team to the Super Bowl in only his second year. He is joined by his LSU teammate Jamar Chase, a powerful back, Joe Mixon, and a bend and don't break defense. No one ever expected this team to make it to the playoffs, but here they are.
Except for Gail.
Nope, there's a guy on ESPN that called it.
Yeah, and one guy on ESPN that called it. If they lose, would have been a waste, or the AFC championship enough?
I don't know who's typing that, but that's MANTRA. You spelled it right.
That would be Nate tapping that. This team's mantra is "We're stronger than condoms."
I mean, it probably is.
So I think this year for the Bengals is a win.
Yes.
No matter what happens this weekend, it's a win for the Bengals.
Yep.
Because if you look back, I mean, This is the first time in NFL history the number 1 draft pick has taken his team to the Super Bowl within the first 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah, and he's the starting quarterback.
Big change. Think about it. You had the number 1 draft pick 2 years ago. Your team doesn't turn around. Normally, if you have the number 1 draft pick, you have a lot of.
And he was injured most of last year.
Yeah, it's usually a 4-year turn. They figure a 4-year turnaround.
Yeah, usually at least 4 years before you are really competitive and whatnot.
And to be more specific, he's the first quarterback to do the ever.
Yeah.
Yep.
If he wins the Super Bowl, he's going to be the first quarterback ever to win the national championship and the Super Bowl.
Well, the national championship, the MVP, he'll be MVP probably, because and everything he's done, they're already chatting goat.
It's kind of funny. After Brady interviewed him, the next day he retired.
He's like, I sold my soul now, baby.
Since we're talking about the Bengals, I just happened to, look it up, and I'm sure Jeremy's watching it. But the comeback player of the year for the NFL honors was Burrows, and offensive rookie of the year was Jamar Chase.
I have all the NFL honors recap going on at the bottom for after we do everything, because I was trying to get the full list going.
Oh, okay. I'll shut up then.
No, it's fine. I'm glad you chime
Well,
in.
we're just talking about the Bengals, so I figured it was pertinent.
Yeah.
It is very pertinent.
So if they win, it's icing on the cake. If they lose, the fact is they weren't even supposed to win their division. I mean, most people didn't think they were making the postseason.
Right.
So they went from, in theory, not supposed to be even making the playoffs to in the Super Bowl. 2 years after having the number 1 draft pick.
But the thing is, for me, it's like it's going to be great for them. I know how hard it is as a Dolphins fan with a wonderful quarterback who takes their team to the Super Bowl the second year in, even though he wasn't the first round draft pick, or didn't win the Heisman either, to get back to the Super Bowl. No matter what they say about that team up there north out of Boston, I can't remember the name. They're relevant now. They used to be like good years ago, but right now they're kind of irrelevant. But to continue to go back to the Super Bowl time and time again is unprecedented to be able to do that. Yeah, so I hope that this man and this team can continue to do that.
Yeah, that's
no, I don't, because that's against Miami. So I hope he don't. I'm just saying it's tough to do this.
Basically, what everybody in the NFL, like even all of the analysts, the owners and everything, they figured that there used to not be a salary cap, and the best team, teams that had the most fans always had the best players. And then they had a salary cap, and it was supposed to even it out, where no team was going to be going to the Super Bowl every year, year in, year out. And like you said, the team up north that used to be good, they what they did was unprecedented, because they were never not one of the top teams in the AFC.
Well, let's just look at it this way. In NFL history, going by times a player has appeared in the Super Bowl itself, Tom Brady has
10.
Correct.
Sorry.
1 hour and 10 minutes, everybody. 1 hour and 10 minutes. That's all it takes.
I blame myself because I brought up the subject. Yeah. It's my fault.
It's all your fault.
Second on the list. Any guesses?
That's gonna be probably lineman or something like that.
No, isn't it Vinatieri? Isn't it Vinatieri for the most Super Bowl appearances as a player? Or are we talking team?
No, I'm talking player.
Oh.
I thought it was Vinatieri.
Nope.
The lineman.
No, Travis on the right. It is a kicker, but it's not Vinatieri.
The other one that played for New England.
Is it Gostkowski?
It is Gostkowski with 6.
Ocho Cinco.
Ocho Cinco.
Okay. Also at 6, we got Mike Lotus, a nose tackle from the Bills and Broncos. Cletus Bennett, a linebacker from the Bills. Bruschi at 5. linebacker, Patriots. Larry Cole, defensive end for the Cowboys at 5. Elway, quarterback, 5, but he only won 2.
Okay.
So I mean,
I don't think we need to go with that whole list though.
Yeah.
The list of people that have made it more than 3 or 4 times, like 3 times in a full career, is very limited.
Yes, it is. So just very hard. So I hope that I'm just sad that he plays for Cincinnati because that's in the AFC, and I do not need him to be in the championship every year in the Super Bowl. I don't need that. Nope, I don't need that. I don't need 20 years of another dynasty unless it's the Dolphins.
Sorry, they just destroyed that by everything they do by that owner.
Well, apparently all the news reports I've been seeing lately is maybe it's not so much the owner, and it might very well be that coach.
Have you heard any of the players talk about it?
Yeah.
All the players love that coach.
So, next question.
All right.
There was 2 questions there. Don't skip it.
So what do you think the main reason for their success is? The Burrow-Chase connection or the emergence of Joe Mixon, who was Mo's name last year? Who's Mo's guy last year?
Yes, who was on IR most last year.
Yes.
Yes.
This year.
Well, 2 years ago.
I know. I had him this year. He was great.
Yeah.
So they built through the draft, like I was stating earlier. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead again. So I think it's the connection between Burrow and Chase. They had the connection in college, and so the time for them to really get on the same page was a very short time span, and the NFL didn't know what to expect with Jamar Chase because, as you remember, in the preseason, he was the receiver that couldn't catch a freaking ball. It's like
he kept dropping it.
He came a long way from a guy who complained about a white line all around the ball.
Yeah, we have an article about the fact is that it's different from the college ball and this and that, and that he can't catch the ball because his depth perception
the white
hasn't
lines.
adjusted to it yet. Yes, we did a whole report about it.
Yeah.
So, I think it's that connection, and the fact is Burrow has that. He seems to have that it factor. Just how he plays. It's like, it's so hard. I mean, there's been few players in NFL history that have had that it factor. They're not the most athletic. They're not the most talented. They're not the biggest sought-after player ever. They're not touted as the best player in history. They just have that it factor that when
push comes to shove.
When shit's on the line, you look at that person and you go, yep, we have that chance because that person is there.
So Aaron Rodgers.
No.
No.
That's Aaron Rodgers.
No, Aaron Rodgers.
In a nothing game.
Aaron Rodgers is the one that's you just described Aaron Rodgers perfectly.
When shit hits the fan that we're going to lose,
yeah.
He's going to give us the Hail Mary and we're going to hope for the best.
Yeah, well, he completes them.
So I think another thing with Burrows is that he is that great player on the field, but the team also respects him.
They rally around him.
And you can see how much they respect him by the way they act on the field and on the sidelines and in the locker room. Like, you can just
yeah, well, now I'm hoping he gets his ass handed to him like a freaking child getting beat by his stepfather. So...
Sounds like you have experience with that, Smitty.
I don't have any stepchildren.
And his stepfather was Uncle Seymour, or Father Seymour.
Father Seymour.
All right. So do you think Joe Burrow...
hang on, before you go on to that question, Chris, I have a question for you. Because you're kind of sitting there, and I want to get you involved. You know college more than anyone here. Do you think that's what word I'm looking for here? That Jeremy's statement makes sense about how they both played in LSU, so they hooked up pretty well, and that's what made the Bengals such a good team this year?
Well, I mean, it definitely didn't hurt. They have that relationship. You know, they played for a couple years together. You know, you build that chemistry. Just like if you were to throw Chris Olave on the Bears next year, right? He knows how Olave comes out of his breaks. He knows how, how to hit Olave in stride because he threw to him for years. He knows, like, there's just a chemistry there. Now, do I think it's the only thing?
No, just the main thing is right.
Yeah, I mean, I think, it definitely didn't hurt for sure.
Okay.
So will more teams look at their now young QBs and the ones that just came out of college and look at their receivers that are now being declared and say, hey, it might be worth picking up this guy. They had a good rapport with him. They're a good receiver. Is it worth maybe picking up this guy for our QB in hopes that what they did in college can go to the next level kind of thing?
I think if you're in a position like the Bengals where you don't really have that premier receiver, then yeah, I mean, it can't hurt. But if you've already got receivers, I wouldn't,
I think that's something you need to talk to the quarterback about. Be like, hey, listen, your old teammate's coming up. He's declared this year. If we have the option to pick him up at this spot, would you want him? Because if I recall, there was articles that the Bengals were talking about picking up a lineman, but Burrow wanted Chase.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably the best thing they did.
Burrow wanted AJ Green to stay, but AJ Green said, "F this place. I'm out of Cincinnati and Arizona."
F this place.
Exactly. So, I mean, that was probably a factor that pushed Burrow to want Chase more than anything. But the fact is, if you're a team that's building, and one of these receivers coming out is a high-end, top-end talent, and your team has the chance to pick him up, if your quarterback already has that confidence and that everything kind of synced up with that receiver, you have to ask that quarterback, do you want this guy? Do you think he'd fit here? Because guess what? That quarterback's been in your system for a year, if not longer. Well, probably, hopefully not much longer than that because of how short-term these college are. But at that point, you have to sit down and talk to your quarterback. Be like, hey, listen, if we have a chance to draft him, if he's there when we're picking, what is your opinion on us picking him? Do you want him? Yes or no? Because think about it. In college, yeah, you might have been on the same team with someone, but guess what? You guys might not have got along. You might not have liked his work ethic, things like that. Something might just not. Yeah, he was a good player in college. I'm not sure if he'd fit how we act, how we play here, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping it's a connection like that because, I mean, it kind of showed it in Miami with Tua and, what's his name?
Weddle.
Yes. I mean, they exploded as a pair. So,
yeah.
And so did the Bengals with their group. So, it might be something there.
Hey, look, I know your players' names better than you do.
You do.
All right. So, do we think Burrow will manage to win Super
Bowl?
Well,
one bullet.
Hmm?
The part that Jeremy's been wanting to talk about, but he keeps holding up.
Yes.
The question right before that.
Oh, did I miss the question?
Yes.
Oh. Should teams just start following the Rams strategy to make a Super Bowl team, or to build? Is it best to build from within, like the Bengals?
Okay, Jeremy.
Okay, so like I was going on a tangent earlier, the Bengals the Rams have pretty much traded away their next 3 years of draft picks in order to fill this team with high-profile players, a very top-heavy roster with big names, big stars.
To win
which
this
is all
year.
well and good, but the fact is, a few years ago they were in the same place going into this weekend as they are today. On the verge of going to the Super Bowl, favored to win the Super Bowl, and till we find out what happens Sunday night, we don't know what happens at the end of that.
Mm-hmm.
True.
The fact is, they have a lot of players that are on one-year deals for the last year of their existing contract. And a lot of these players, if they win a Super Bowl, they're going to go, well, I'm Super Bowl champion, I can get more money somewhere else. And the issue is with the Rams trading for all these players, they put themselves kind of in a salary cap pinch where they're up on the edge of going over next year's salary cap without filling in the rest of their current roster that's going to leave this year.
Okay, so
they had a lot of contracts that were incentivized year after year, figuring to go up with the cap. But because that 1 year drop and the cap going up, they have a lot of dead salary cap spots. Where the Bengals have done the opposite way. They drafted young. They have brought in some veterans, but very minimal. They've done a lot more building through the draft and pulling in young players in development. So they've had two different ends of the spectrum. So
exactly.
So last year, when Tampa went out and got Brady, they only brought in like two other players, really. They brought in Gronk and they brought in Fournette last year. Besides that, they really didn't have many or they did bring in AB eventually, but he was cheap as could be because no one wanted him. Besides that, they didn't really bring in that many players. They had a very stout roster already. They just needed the quarterback that wasn't going to throw 30 interceptions to help push them over the peak. So we're seeing this is a weird circumstance where back-to-back years, the place that's hosting the Super Bowl actually has the team in it. Mm-hmm. Something that's only happened a few times in NFL history prior to this. And now it happens back-to-back years.
It is weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
exactly. Go ahead.
Well, what year
do
do
you think is better?
Well, what year was it they started holding the Super Bowl in a neutral location? Because the first couple were held at the home team's field, I thought, right?
When the NFL realized that they can make a huge profit out of overhyping the Super Bowl.
Yes.
And
so what year was that?
I think it was Super Bowl 5, I believe, because the first couple Super Bowls over there in Green Bay or Kansas City? Green Bay and then Kansas City. Yeah. And then I think when Dallas finally went there, they actually played it in the Superdome, I think, or something like that.
I think once they realized that this is not a standard football game, this is more of a event. They realize they can have these stadiums put their name in for the bid and turn this into a week-plus long event focused around this and really boost revenue for the NFL and boost revenue for that city or for that team in that city. So they realize if we can do this, we can actually bring it to whatever stadium we want. We're going to stay towards the nice weather because no one wants to go to the north in the wintertime.
Which is BS. I think every place should get a chance to host Super Bowl, even if it is Buffalo.
Well,
or Green Bay.
They tried that in the Minnesota Twins. Minnesota.
No, Minnesota's a dome. They'll do it in a dome if it's cold weather.
Right.
They won't do an open stadium in the cold weather because a few years ago they did do it in New York, but of course that weekend it was snowing during Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And I think at that point they said, listen, it's too much extra work for the NFL to coordinate all that with weather concerns thrown in. Is their issue. They'd rather have it pretty, okay, we shouldn't really have we don't have to worry about snow, or we shouldn't have to worry about snow or any real other weather conditions, and there shouldn't really be issues with the game going on.
Okay. So before that, though, you're on the side of the fence that you should build from within.
Yes, I'm on the side of the fence that you should build from within. If you need to bring one person, two people in here and there, that's one thing. But when you are trading away multiple years of high-end draft picks to build up a roster on players that aren't long-term for that roster under their existing contract, it kind of, I think it puts you...
hurts you in the long run.
Yeah, it's good for the right now, but it puts you in a situation where, A, you don't have that draft capital to trade up or down or move around the draft, really. And B, these players are gone within a few years unless you're willing to pay them top dollar. And if you're pushing your limits to maintain all these players currently, you can't keep building your team and keep all these players because they're going to want more money every year because that's what NFL players want.
So Nate, what is your view on trading draft picks for players? Because
I think teams are overselling their players.
What do you mean?
Look, the fact that they can charge the Stafford deal, right? How many first round draft picks were used? in getting
I think
second?
2 and then a second.
2
Like-
firsts, a second, and Goff. Which
Jesus,
they traded-
that's right.
which-
That's right.
Which they traded up to get. They traded multiple picks to trade up to get Goff.
Yeah, they should. Like, that to me is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it breaks my brain that anybody is doing that kind of
It breaks my brain too. I'm not trading 3 freaking up to second rounds in the next year or 2 years over a quarterback.
Well,
I'm
yeah.
not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
willing to trade that player. That means they're interested in not having him. So why am I going to mortgage my farm to freaking get this guy that you're willing to give away anyway?
Mm-hmm.
Like, just take. Let's be people here. Like, all right, so I'll give you a second and a seventh. To me, that sounds fucking reasonable. I'm not giving you my goddamn first round pick. You're out of your goddamn mind.
Detroit didn't want to get rid of Stafford. Stafford asked to be traded if they're going through another rebuild.
Well, of course they didn't want to. Stafford's a good quarterback.
Yeah, so the fact is, Detroit didn't have to, and they didn't really want to. Stafford asked. They said, "Okay, we'll entertain trade options. If someone gives us an offer we can't refuse, we will trade you."
Well, I wouldn't refuse that either.
And that's the fourth way of saying, if we can find a team to fuck over, let's go ahead and just screw that guy because I don't give
If you're giving me 2 first rounders,
team.
you give me 2 first rounders and a second rounder and a better than average quarterback, my quarterback's out the door. I was like,
Young one at that, like, they can build a franchise around that guy still. There's
Yeah.
still plenty of time on his freaking. Oh.
Exactly. I mean, it's not like it's Chicago who don't seem to know how to do anything correctly. No offense, Chris. I'm not.
They know how to lose.
They
They
Well, the
know how to
thing
make
is-
shitty draft picks.
They know how
Well,
to almost get there.
Well, they do. They do this and they do this and they do this and they do this. And unlike Detroit, that just does this. So
To be
there's
fair,
that.
that's the entire NFC North except for one team.
Which could change quickly.
Yes. Okay, Travis, did you have anything to say about that, or you, Gal?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I didn't read through the whole thing, and I kept wanting to go to that one for so long.
I know you did, and I know you didn't read it. I was like, okay, that's kind of down later on, but because I knew it was a good question to ask because
So-
2 teams got there 2 different ways.
So Nate, before I ask this question, I want you to read our thing, unless you want Gail to read, because Gail read it last week and she did pretty well.
No, you're missing stuff here.
No, before
Yeah,
I
what are you
before
doing,
I get
Travis?
to these, because this has to do with our bet.
He's trying to spin forward, speed through.
Well, then read the X Factor one first, and then do the last one.
All right. So what is the X factor basically for both these teams that will allow them to win the game over the other team? I guess. So let's go with the Rams. What do the Rams need to do to win this game?
Well, no, more like an X Factor, not just what they need to do.
Yeah,
Just
what's-
like, you
what-
know,
what's
a
gonna-
player. What player is an X Factor?
I think it's going to be Stafford.
Aaron Donald.
Cincinnati's offensive line.
I think Donald.
Von Miller.
And Von Miller are going to get their hits on Burrow. I think it's going to be Matt Stafford because over the past, pretty much about halfway through the season on, he's thrown 2 or 3 of these throws that are just so bad. He threw one 2 weeks ago against the Niners, and if the Niners pick that off, that pretty much seals the deal, and that game is over, and the Rams aren't here.
Go ahead. Sorry.
It's been a continued thing. Every week he's been throwing 1 or 2 or 3 of these balls that just are very off target and nowhere close to his receiver, and the defensive backs have been picking him off consistently. Unless he's a San Francisco 49er.
You know who's gonna have a really good game? Whoever the spy person is watching Jamar Chase while Jalen Ramsey's defending him, looking to pick off any passes that might go short or long, because you know they're gonna double team that.
Well, see, that's what I was going to say. I think that you talked about the Rams first, X Factor for the Rams. I think the X Factor for the Rams is I try to go not obvious. I liked Chris's thing on the Bengals, but we'll get to them in a second. And that's Jalen Ramsey. I think he's the X Factor. Depending on if he can cover Jamar Chase one-on-one. If he can do that, I don't think the Bengals are going to have much of a chance there. I think that's the expectation.
They're reporting that the Rams don't want that.
Of course they don't. It's fucking Jamar Chase. He's a phenom. He's amazing. He is really at 1 year in. Yeah. But that's going to be the X factor. The cornerback play against Jamar Chase.
All right. So what about the Bengals? What is the Bengals X factor win?
Chris said the offensive line, defensive line.
So Chris, explain
offensive line. I mean, look at it. He got sacked. What was it? 8, 9 times?
9 times.
Yeah. Like if you give him time, like you see what he does when he's getting hit like that. You give him time to throw, give him time to set or run, for that matter. It's going to be a big thing. So I think if they can contain LA's defensive line, the Bengals have a good shot.
See, that's a very well thought out thing you said. I love that. That's like out of the box of the normal stuff. I really appreciate that, Chris. Appreciate you.
Well, they always say the game is won down in the trenches.
Oh, absolutely.
The big men decide the end of the game, not the guy who's flying down the field.
All right. So, anyone else got Bengals? Who they think the Bengals person is? Or I'll go ahead and say what I think. That way, give you guys a chance to think about it.
I think it's. Go ahead, Snake. Sorry.
That's okay. It's either going to be that damn kicker for the Bengals, because if it comes down to a kick, I'm putting my money on that man. Or the tight end for Cincinnati. What's his name? Hezeba, or whatever. Because they're going to be doubling the other targets. He's going to get a lot of targets. He is going to get a lot of yardage. And I think when he has a good game, I believe that they can win this game. I mean, that's the way they're going to have to win. They're going to win by giving it to that tight end. I can't remember his name. He was injured in the last game, but he's playing. TJ Hezeba.
Well,
I don't know his name.
He's on the Rams.
No, TJ's on the Bengals.
No, Hisby got hurt, and the other. Who was it?
Yeah, but he's playing this. He's playing the Super Bowl. The tight end, TJT something. But yeah, I think he will be the X factor for the Bengals. I mean, on the offense, on defense, I don't know.
CJ Uzomah.
Yes, him, that man. I think he's going to have a really great game for the Rams to beat the Bengals to beat the Rams.
I think it's to be more on the Bengals secondary. I think they need to step up and keep Kupp and OBJ and the tight end under control.
Good luck with that.
I think the Bengals defense is very underrated in this game.
They are, but this is Kupp, dude. Man, he's a video game, dude. He's like playing Madden on like easy.
Yes, but how many times has this happened where you have this player that's unstoppable all season?
Mm-hmm.
Like Tyreek Hill or whatnot. And guess what? You come to the Super Bowl and that person
all
doesn't
bets
really
are
have
off.
The team has 2 weeks to just focus on, okay, what does he do? How does he do it? How can we slow him down?
Yeah, good point. Good point.
I mean, how many times have you seen Tyreek Hill be taken out of a football game? I mean, think about the Bengals 2 weeks ago. They took Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and what's their other receiver, big receiver on the...
Harmon. No, not Harmon.
No, Hill and it starts with H.
Yeah, Harmon. No. Harmon is on the 49ers.
Hill and okay, someone look it up already, damn it.
I had him on my team for a while.
They have Hardman and Robinson.
Yeah, it's gotta be Hartman.
Yeah, it's
probably Hartman then. Yeah.
Hartman, yeah. Oh,
Nate left us.
Who knows why? All right.
I got company.
They took.
Oh.
They took them completely out of the game for the entire second half.
Yeah.
So the fact is, the Bengals coach worked under the Rams coach a few years ago. So.
Really?
Yes, the Bengals coach was part of the coaching tree on the Rams when the Rams were at the Super Bowl against the Patriots.
Mm.
So the fact is, he knows how Sean McVay is going to approach the game and how he's going to look at the team. Where Sean McVay, he had him under him, but what has he?
Is this going to be almost like? Is this going to be one of those where how Belichick tends to lose to his to people that were on his coaching staff that leave, kind of things, where it's going to be the master versus the apprentice, and now the apprentice has got his own chance to be the master.
You never know, but I mean the fact that he was able to do that for.
All right,
that he was under him.
So let's get to the part that we spent some money, because that's part of our question that is next. So Gail, why don't you go ahead and read that?
Thick and Thin Sportscast does not support or advocate anyone to actually place monetary bets on anything we talk about on this show. This is only for entertainment purposes, as we are not professionals. Never bet money you cannot afford to lose. If you or anyone you know thinks they have or has a gambling problem, the national hotline is 1-800-522-4700, and it's 100% confidential and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For more information, please go to www.ncpgambling.com.
Couldn't have done it any better myself. Great job. I'm proud of you.
I done messed it up a few times.
It's okay.
I did better than last time I did it.
Yes, last week's was better, but that's okay. All right, Jeremy. So, do we make our bet with the Bengals because we all think that Burrow will become the first NFL player in history to be the number 1 pick overall, the Heisman, and the national game to win the national game, and to win the Super Bowl the second year into the season, or do we go with the Rams who after paying millions of dollars and away all their draft picks, Jeremy?
The Rams are gonna win. I don't know.
The Rams are absolutely gonna win.
I don't know why we're gonna put any money on the Bengals.
No, the Bengals are gonna win.
Oh!
How much do we have in there?
We have.
After you take your.
I already spent that and I lost that, so that's no big deal.
You didn't go with my bet, did you?
No, unfortunately, I was an idiot, and I
bet on the
first Bengal.
I bet $10 on the Pats, and I bet $10 on Tampa, and I lost both of them.
Okay,
I'll bet $50 to anyone here who wants to take Bengals over the Rams. I'll take the Rams.
We have
right here.
$39.70.
Okay, you all heard this. Me and Jeremy got a bet. He's going with the Bengals. I go for the Rams.
We have 39 what?
$39.70.
So I say we just split it and go. Okay, so wait, who's going who? I'm going Bengals. I got Rams.
I go Bengals.
Bengals. Chris?
I'm going to take Bengals just because I want Burrow.
Okay, so we're 4-2. So if we.
I want the Bengals to win. I do. I want the Bengals to win.
So the Bengals are getting right now. The Bengals are getting 4 points, and I have to go to work tomorrow, so I'll probably make the bets tomorrow. So.
But I want Stafford to win a championship too.
Stafford.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stafford can get it this year, and then Burrow.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't think. I mean, it's gonna be tough for Burrow to get back, but I would love to see Stafford win a championship, and I would love to see the Bengals to win. I want that, but the football fan I am is telling me Burrow's going to wait because Stafford's going to win and the Rams are going to win.
Nope.
I want the Bengals to win. I would rather give you money.
The football in me says that the Rams should win.
Mm-hmm.
But the gut feeling in me just something about the Bengals this year where everyone counts them out and they somehow manage to do it.
Okay, the Cinderella story. They're Cinderella. They got their.
They do, but I got that gut feeling that something about that team just they have that it factor this year.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you something. They are a Cinderella team. Their pumpkin has turned to a carriage. Their fairy godmother has given Burrow back, who's played amazing, and they got Chase in there. But midnight is ticking up, and it's midnight now, and midnight's called the Rams. Just saying.
You realize the game ends before midnight, right?
Well, yeah.
Not when you watch it overseas, there, friend.
Well, when you watch it in real time, in the U.S.
And when you watch it in real time in the U.S. on the East Coast, it barely ends before midnight.
Oh, it depends on how the game goes.
No, it's
Why am I not? Why are we not all together watching this game? I don't understand that.
We told you,
come up.
Smitty, you had to pick up Chris and go over to Jeremy's house, and Jeremy would drive the rest of the way.
I bet Jeremy would have made that, but I don't think Chris would have.
No, Chris has to still work.
Yeah, I have to work.
He would have driven here and driven back. You guys would have been back for Monday morning. Have you met my brother?
Are you gonna even watch the game?
No,
watch the game, drink heavily, and then as soon as the game's over, yay, good game.
Well, I mean, in the military, they have a late work call on Monday morning after the Super Bowl.
The fuck we do.
Well, you're in the Navy, so.
Yeah, but
Well,
okay, you're the
I'm
Army.
I'm a DOA civilian, and I have to be there at 07:30 Monday morning.
Oh,
That's late. What do you mean 7:30? That's late.
yeah.
dude, I would be
7:30.
late.
I'm working
You
for
also
home
have a
Monday.
late work call when it's a national title game, don't you?
No, we
So
didn't
you say
actually.
Oh my
7:30,
God,
like
really?
You're even getting out of bed at 7:30.
Everybody and their brother drops leave, but
Everybody
I
takes a
don't think-
vacation day that day.
I don't think I've been to my office before 12 o'clock on the day after the Super Bowl in 10 years.
I'm
We're
working
supposed
from
to be there,
home that
they're supposed to be
Monday.
there at 9:30, but I didn't show up till 12.
I'm working Tuesday and Thursday next week.
I have pretty much always shown up by 6 a.m. the next morning after the Super Bowl.
That's because you're a functional alcoholic, which no one has ever seen like this before.
Yeah, I don't know how Jeremy is functional alcoholic the way he is. And he's been doing it for years.
What's in that cooler over your right shoulder?
Yeah, he's right.
He's like, how'd you guys see that?
I don't know. What
He's
you're
not an
talking about.
alcoholic. Alcoholics go to meetings.
Right, he's no quitter.
Yeah, exactly. I don't quit.
He's a sobriety coach.
I can teach you my ways. I can train you. If you can't keep up, it's not my fault.
Yeah, the problem is that most of us get hangovers. Jeremy's just like, I don't know what this hangover thing you speak of is.
Spit all
Almost.
over everything.
There's a reason why
Oh.
Smitty's been drinking since the dawn of the dinosaurs, and he still couldn't keep up with Jeremy. He's like, it's time for bed. Jeremy's like, what are you talking about? We're just getting going.
Well, I mean, this is true, but the one big difference between me and Jeremy, and I'm not trying to outdo Jeremy at all. I drink whiskey.
Yeah.
I drink whiskey.
Oh, I'll do it with whiskey too. Don't worry.
Yeah, Jeremy's scary. Don't ever go drink for drink with him. You'll end up in the hospital.
No, I tried to do that one time with my sister, my older sister, and she drinks beers, whatever. And I was like, and she's 5 foot tall, 110 pounds, maybe.
Hold
And
on, you have a sister that's my height and is like the weight of my left leg?
I have two sisters exactly like that. They're the same size.
Sister is
What?
smoking hot. Smitty's
Yes, my
older
oldest.
sister is really attractive.
But she's not the one that drinks. She doesn't drink at all.
Oldest.
The
Right.
oldest?
He's the oldest child.
Yeah, she's almost 60.
So Nate, she could be our grandmothers?
Oh my God,
Oh,
she's
she's a very pretty woman. She is.
a very lovely woman. Oh
But
my
Holly, my other sister, I tried that once, and that did not work out well for me at all.
It's the small ones. I was
So-
telling Gail, like I was saying the other night, it's always the small ones you got to worry about.
Yeah, so I will
said I
never
don't know
ever
what
try to
he's
outdrink
talking
somebody.
about.
Never again.
Yeah, I've been called out a few times, and the next morning at like 6 a.m. when I'm up functioning doing stuff, and I get a call from them at like 2 in the afternoon going, "Oh, I just got up. What are you up to?" "Oh, I've been up since 6. I did this. I mowed the lawn, did this."
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not sure
Hey,
that's.
wait.
I don't.
Yeah, so we
I don't
had
think
this rule.
bragging about
If
that.
we went to the bar, we didn't tell Jeremy because if he showed up, we were screwed. And like me,
Well,
Murph,
I don't
Everett.
know if that's as much as a flex as you think it is, Jeremy. But go ahead.
Well, like me, Murph,
I just
Everett,
watched that
like we could go out and have like 3 or 4 beers and be like, all right, we're gonna go home. Jeremy shows up, and next thing you know, you have another beer in front of you. So you're like, oh, I can't leave until I finish this beer. And before you finish that beer, you have another beer in front of your face. You're like, oh, you haven't finished this one. How the hell did I have this one? Next thing you know, you're closing the bar, and you're like, God damn it. I just wanted to go out for 3 beers.
I would get a text. Hey, Jeremy just walked in.
I would text back, okay, going to bed. Don't wake me up.
Yeah. As I go out with our friend Josh, and Josh he would understand. Oompa has 4 beers and he goes home. He knew that for a fact, and Murph knew. Everybody knew. Murph would have. He got to the same place I was. 4 beers, you go home. That way you don't feel like crap the next day. But then Jerry would show up, and we were like, oh, well, I guess we're here all night because he's just gonna keep buying us beer.
Well, it sounds to me I need to go to South Carolina more than I need to go to New England.
Well, you stop on your way, but when you hang out with Minnie, it's like a 3-day event because you drink all night and then you got to wake up 2 days later.
The only thing I keep hearing is it sounds like we need to be sponsored by an Alcoholics Anonymous and maybe even substance abuse counselors.
For peer pressure.
We talked about this so much, and we are supposed to be talking about a Super Bowl and like.
You realize the amount of alcohol drinking this weekend compares to how much alcohol is drinking on New Year's Eve.
But we're not getting paid to talk about any of those people or any of.
No, we're talking about how awful, how good and bad it is to go drinking with Jeremy.
Look, Big Liquor is willing to sponsor this show. I will talk about all the booze. And I'll say it's great for you. And it's like the next best thing since snake oil.
Okay, he's right. We got to move on with the next part of the show.
So what do we decide? What are our bets? Are we betting the Bengals with the over?
I think we just split it, bet half on each to win right straight out. However, it's going to pay out more.
So
no, bet what you want to bet. Bet it all on the Bengals if you want. You and I got a separate bet, so I got no problem betting Bengals.
So I was looking at that. The best payout is Bengals straight up.
Yeah.
$27 total. Otherwise we get the normal 19.
So that's putting 10 on it each.
Yes.
I say we split the 39, so pretty much $20 on it each.
Well, it'd be 50. Yeah, it'd be almost $20. Yeah.
You said it's 39 something. So
$39.70.
Yeah, so it's $19 and some change.
So you're gonna.
$20 each.
So I need to add the couple of bucks, whatever it is.
Just split whatever's in there in half.
Okay.
Half on the Bengals to cover. Or
Yeah.
half on the Bengals straight up, and half on the Rams to cover.
Okay.
Worst case is, if Rams cover, we probably make that 30 something whatever back.
Yeah, because
Best case, if the Bengals win outright, we probably make close to $60 or the payout's 60 probably.
39.7 divided by 2, 1985. So let's go back to that.
That's the year I was born.
1905? What?
1985.
Damn.
So,
you look good for someone that's 115 years old.
You know.
Point.
I moisturize.
So, if we bet the Bengals straight up to win, that's 50. We will end up with 53-59. That's not bad. Oop. And
you could just bet the Rams to win straight up too.
Well, the Rams to win straight up, I don't think is great.
It's still winning. You still win. I see what Jeremy's saying is that no matter who wins the game, you or we will make money on that.
Well, I think it's better to bet the spread on the Rams than it is to bet the money line because they're favored by so much already.
Yeah. So if we bet the spread on the Rams, we get 37.89. And
Yep.
if we bet straight up on the Bengals, it'd be 53.59.
Yep.
So worst case scenario, we lose $2 unless it's less than a 4-point spread and the Rams win.
Just bet straight up on the Rams. What's the winning on that?
Like $30.
That's what I'm saying.
So you're spending 20 to get 30.
No, if we bet just straight up, we make nothing. Almost, it's next to nothing.
Okay, well, whatever you bet it. When it's I have voted that you keep the money
in the thing until next year.
Pretty much.
Do what you want to. It's fucking $10.
It's not even $10 by the time it comes down to it, but that's okay.
Don't spend it all in one place.
All right. So, what was the other? Okay, do you think Burrow will become the first player in NFL history to be the #1 overall draft pick, win the Heisman, a national title game, and the Super Bowl in his second season?
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
I'm kind of hard. I'm kind of like don't want to go against like Gail ever again on anything. She seems to be so right on so many things lately. But no, he's not. He's not. He's gonna be the next Dan Marino. Second year in Super Bowl, get beat 36-16 by the Rams, and then never make it back.
All right, guys.
Did you hold up? We still got a lot to talk about.
Oh, I don't want to talk about these. We can talk about these guys next week when we're going over the Super Bowl because there's not going to be much else.
Well, there's another article to talk about that I sent to the group chat and no one responded to.
Oh, what'd you send to the group chat, Jeremy?
The Joe Burrow rehab for his ACL injury in Los Angeles last year.
The what?
What?
He lived with the Rams player.
Yeah, he lived with the left tackle Andrew Whitworth, the 40-something-year-old Rams tackle, left tackle. So they rehabbed together because he was also somewhat injured. So they rehabbed together out in L.A. And Burrow spent his Sundays with Whitworth at his house with his family, watching games and whatnot.
So you're saying after they get done with the Super Bowl, they're gonna go to his house and hang out?
No, what he's saying is they told each other secrets about their teams.
No, what I'm saying is Whitworth is one of those good guys in the NFL that should get more publicity than he does. How old is he, Smitty? He has to be
he's not my age, but he's at least Nate's age.
So you're saying he's younger than you, but that's not saying very much.
Right. He's younger than 80, but older than 40. He's been around a minute.
Well, I'm closer to 40 than I am 30, so.
I'm closer to 30 than I am to 100.
Are you to 100,000, to 100 million?
So Whitworth is 40 years old.
Yeah.
He's one of the oldest linemen in the league.
No.
And he reached out to this rookie who blew his ACL and MCL last year to rehab together so he wasn't by himself out in LA.
My question is, why did this not make the news before right now? Why did we not talk about this before right now?
I think it got mentioned before.
It did get mentioned here and there a little bit, but it never really got it's not relevant unless it's big name players or it's some crazy thing that's happening. Where the fact is they're
talked about it like a year ago or whatever.
We may have
talked about it.
It sounds like we might have.
I don't remember it, so it must have been last year.
Because Chris was very interested in talking about him, so it's quite possible. All right,
we gotta check the books.
Yeah, we got to go back and check the books.
What books?
You guys ready to make our Super Bowl picks for this week? The last picks of the year.
Yeah.
All right, let's make some picks. Oh, I gotta turn everybody's cameras back on from when we turned them off so we could look at our overall picks of the year.
Nah, we don't have to do that.
All right. Nah, too late. We want to see your pretty face, Nate. All right, Nate, you get the first pick of the year.
Rams.
Nate is going with the Rams. You know what? I'm going to go with Burrow. He got something. Jeremy?
Bengals.
Chris?
Big Dick.
I'm going to go with the Rams.
Really?
He changed his mind.
He changed his mind. Smitty?
Miami Dolphins.
They're not available.
Oh, I'm sorry. Packers.
They're also none of them are available.
Saints. Tom Brady. Is Tom Brady playing in any of the games?
Amazingly enough, Tom Brady is not playing.
Is he going to be
in
on
the
the sideline? What sideline is he going to be on?
My guess is he would be on the Cincinnati sideline.
Well, then I have to go with Cincinnati.
Tom Brady to win it all.
I'm going with the Rams. I hate Tom Brady, that motherfucker.
You're just mad because of how many times they beat him.
Yes, I am. Yes.
You hate what he did to the AFC East for 20
years. Yes.
Yeah.
I actually like Tom Brady as a person from what I've seen. I like the man, but I can't stand him.
Gail, who are you going to go with?
Bengals.
Gail's going with the Bengals. Jerry, do you have Mo's pick?
I do not.
And Nate, you don't have Bro Manda's pick, right?
No, we haven't even talked about it really. Well, Brody and I have, but
Well,
I like Brody.
That
Can't wait to
gives
see him
you.
again.
So I'll need everybody's picks. Well, I need Mo's and Bro Manda's. Sunday.
I think this has to
before
be
the
an
game.
Amanda only pick on this one.
Yeah.
No.
No,
I
Bro
think
Manda's
that
in
Gail
pick-
should get double points because of picking the Bengals at the beginning of the wild card series to make it the Super Bowl. I should get quadruple points for picking the Rams at the beginning of the season.
Didn't we used to do a full wild card bracket and then also do our picks?
We did.
I don't think we
and
did that- we
This
didn't do
year
that
we
this year.
didn't do it
We didn't do it
because
this year.
things happened. We got sick, and it was just a bad.
We
it was a
talked
bad
about stuff, but we didn't do
Yeah,
it.
we didn't do a full bracket this year. All right, guys. Is there anything else we wanted to go over? Are we done?
I think we're done unless Nate wants to look at his text message I sent him
He always wants to look at his text message.
just to see if
I'm dying.
that's viable on live YouTube or not.
I got nothing from you. But if it's what I think it is, not this week.
Okay.
All right, guys. So we will see you next week. And that is all she wrote. Bye.
Bye now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Go Bengals.
Go Bengals.